let's really dive right in. So your Shopify store setup in the beginning consists of 4 different steps. Step number 1 is securing your branded domain. Step number 2, get your Shopify accounts. Step number 3, create your store's logo. And step number 4, creating your support email address. So let me dive right in deeper into each of these tasks that you gotta accomplish. First of all, your branded domain. Now, this is super important when it comes to domain name. Domain is your web address where your customers actually go to shop in the World Wide Web. It's kind of like having a physical address at a local mall or at a local area. But when it comes to a domain, it's really a web address. Now, your domain must be easy to remember and easy to spell. So don't use words that people don't easily get to remember, or don't use any makeup words, or most importantly, don't use words that really make a conflict. Here's a perfect example. There, right? There can be spelled as T-H-E-I-R or T-H-E-Y-R-E. And when you use that, guess what? People will not know which one they should use. And it's hard for people to spell out. So remember that. Make sure that your domain name is easy to remember and also easy to spell. And don't make up words. Number 3, it must represent your brand. So whatever niche you are going after, you must make sure that the domain name represents what you sell. And after all, your domain name is really your brand name. It's just like iPro Academy. We have iProAcademy.com, and that is our brand name. Now, your domain should consist of a word that also represents what you sell. So for example, for iPro Academy, Academy stands for learning. iPro stands for Internet Professional. So at the end of the day, it consists of the word Academy, so people know that it is all about learning. So when it comes to your store, make sure that you have words in there that represents what you are selling. Let's say that you're creating a store that is selling cat accessories. So when it is a cat accessories, then you want to use words like kitty, kitten, or simply use cats, or whatever different variation that make people know that you obviously have a cat store. Now, when you start looking for domains, there are some guides that you need to follow. Number 1 is you should secure a .com, a .net, or .co. Don't use .xyz or .shop or any other ones out there. Try to keep it to .com, .net, or .co. And you also have to remember, is it easy to remember or to spell out? Very important point. And do not use hyphen between words. So an example, if you're creating a cat shop, don't have that hyphen right in the middle. Having the hyphen, people will not remember your exact web address, which is your domain. Number 4, keep it to 2 to 3 words max. Nowadays, single keyword is impossible to buy. Even if you can actually find one, it will cost you a fortune. So you want to actually look for 2 to 3 words at max, like kitty store or toys shop or whatever. I'm just making it up right now so that you actually add in additional words in your domain. Last but not least is to avoid buying premium domains at all costs. There's no point of spending hundreds to thousands of dollars to actually secure a domain name. All you have to do is simply just spend like 10 bucks to get a domain name, get it started, and when you are comfortable and you are going to go all in into your store knowing that it is doing really well, then you can start looking at purchasing premium domains. Now, when it comes to domain name providers, there are hundreds of them out there. Personally, I use GoDaddy.com. It is up to you if you want to use it or not. Now, if you have never bought a domain from GoDaddy.com, here's a tip for you. Simply go Google and Google GoDaddy coupon. usually GoDaddy will actually offer exclusive coupons for first-time domain buyers. All right, so you can actually save $5, $10, and treat me a coffee the next time you see me. Now, at the same time, Shopify Admin Portal also has the ability for you to actually buy domain. So it's up to you if you want to use that route. There's also Namecheap.com, Domain.com, Bluehost.com, Register.com. So again, when it comes to buying domain, obviously you want to buy at the cheapest price possible. And personally, I use GoDaddy. Now, when you're finding domain names and you are stuck on securing your domain name, here's a big tip for you. Okay, the tip is use the thesaurus. All right, use the thesaurus, and it's going to be your best friend. So let me actually do a quick demo on securing your domain name. So I'm just going to go over here. All right, so right now we're inside our GoDaddy right now. Now you can actually create and go after whatever store you want to go after. Maybe we can create a makeup essentials. Let's see what comes up. Makeupessentials.com. It is taken. .info is gone. So there is a .co over here, right? So I can actually get makeupessentials.co. So if I'm creating a store that specializes in selling makeup accessories, then this is going to be a great domain to obviously use. Now, let's say that if I'm going to go after, let's say I wanted to go after a cat shop, right? If you go after cat shop, obviously it is taken, right? It is taken, and you don't want to use anything else. Catshops.com. So this is a premium domain selling for $4,000. Obviously, you want to avoid it at all costs. Now, let's say that, hey, we're not able to find anything related to cat shop. What you can do is go to thesaurus.com and put in the words in there. Like, let's say if I put in the word cats, let's take a look. I can actually say, kitten, kitty, lynx, leopard, tomcat. Okay, that's interesting. Let's see. Feline. Okay, there's a whole bunch of links. So let's see if I can actually look for like a kitten shop. So kitten shop is available, but again, it's $4,000. We don't want that. But the .co and .net is available. So you see, what I've done is I simply just use the thesaurus to simply bring up synonyms, on words that I can also use, right? Kittenshop.com is $4,000. I can actually buy .net for $20. So simply just secure your domain name and really build it and build your brand from there. Once you got your domain name secured, the next thing that you wanted to do is to get your Shopify account. So if you have not get your Shopify account yet, here's the URL to get it. www.iperacademy.com/Shopify. There's a 14-day free trial for you to get started, but afterwards, I encourage you to just use the starter plan. So it's very simple stuff. So all you got to do is go to www.iperacademy.com/Shopify, and you'll be brought into something like this, and you simply put in your email address. So I'm going to do Fred plus Challenger. Start your free trial. Create store. And then your store is really being built as we speak right now, putting all the configuration in place. And now your store is ready to go. Just waiting for it to load. So now you're in the account setup. I'm just going to say I am just playing around, just getting started. Click on next, then fill in all your information right on here. Click on continue.
I'm going to blur those.
Yeah.
This part.
It's so slow. All right, so now we are on here. So once we're on here, all you have to do is first, you can actually connect your domain name. So all you have to do is go to online store, head over to domains, and you simply connect an existing domain if you are purchasing from GoDaddy, or you can actually buy a new domain if you are using, if you're not buying from GoDaddy. So I can connect a domain. I would say mamawares.com. And then connect automatically. And all you have to do is log in into your accounts. Click on connect. And now you are all set. So now what Shopify is doing is verifying your GoDaddy domain. Now, remember this. You're still in the trial right now. You got to make sure you select a plan and select the starter plan so that you can actually set your store live. Very important side of things. So once the connection is all done, you can now simply change the primary domain and use the third-party domain either with www or without www and press save. So now you have your domain name created. Next, let's talk about your store's logo. Now, when it comes to your store's logo, why your logo matters. First of all, it adds instant credibility to your store. A logo is really representing what your brand is. And the more high-end, the more visually appealing your logo is, the better it actually helps your store. And it also helps you stand out in the market to really compete and give you a differentiator. And most importantly, having a great logo also increases back-end profits and confidence in customers. Because when customers start dealing with your brand, they remember your logo, and when they see your logo elsewhere or see your logo endorsing that product or selling that product, there's a higher chance that customers will really buy it. Now, again, having a logo will also structure yourself for scaling up, both for legacy or also flipping as well. Now, when it comes to logo, there are really three things to really look at. Identity, right? The visual representation of your brand. Next is your brand, the overall perceived image. So if your image is really going down the route of elegance, then you want to make sure that your logo will look elegant, right? If you're going after the kids market, you want to make sure that your logo looks cute. So it really has that perceived image right in place. And last but not least, again, your logo is to be identifying a graphic mark. So when people see it, they know it is you right away. Now, when it comes to logo, there are 3 guidelines when it comes to logo. Tip number 1 is have an emblem that represents your brand. So you have an icon that represents what your brand really is about. So if you look at the bottom right hand of this video, you'll see iPro Academy, but on the left, you'll always see an emblem. This emblem basically represents our brand. So if you don't actually see iPro Academy, but see our emblem, you will know that it is from iPro Academy. Next is using a typography that represents your brand. For example, if you are running a baby store, then you can use like a child theme font. A font that's more cute, more round, and not that serious, right? With ours, if you look at the bottom right with our iPro Academy logo, it's more going after professional, right? You can actually see it all from there. Tip number 3, color choices are critical. The choice of color has a big impact in your brand. Red from Coca-Cola really create excitement and urgency. Blue represents professionalism and also business. So every single color actually pushes a psychological trigger for consumers. And if you actually go to this website over here, blog.hubspot.com/marketing/psychology-of-color, you will actually see an infographic that really explains the psychology of color, especially when it comes to logo. Very handy stuff that you can see. Now, once you actually have an idea of what your logo wanted to look like, there are 4 methods for you to actually design your logo. Method number 1 is use Google Images. You simply search in Google Images, but make sure it's labeled for reuse. And then you simply type in your niche keyword and add logo on there. So let's say that I'm going after the kitten shop, I can actually put in cat's logo, right on Google, and see what comes up. Method number 2 is the $5 deal. Now use Fiverr.com to hire Fiverr designers and make sure that you get a PNG file. A PNG file simply makes the background not white but transparent. Now, one person that I do recommend when it comes to Fiverr is this guy over here, fiverr.com/Anton Clevila97. Pretty good guy. Used him for several logos before. I would recommend you if you go through your list and you don't know who you wanted to hire. And again, it's only $5. Method number 3, if you have some money to invest and you want a better logo, then you simply use royalty stock photo websites. You can go to websites like Getty Images or Fotolia.com or freepik.com to really look for logos as well. Last but not least, for those of you that are going all in, that really want a premium logo, that you know for a fact that this is going to be a business you're going to build for like the next 10 years, then you can use a design contest. Create a design contest at 99designs.com to create a premium logo for your business. So let me actually do a quick demo to show you how you should be designing and finding your logos. So first, we can actually go to Google, and I'm going to type in, let's say, cat's logo, okay? And then when you go to images, here's what you want to do. Under the settings, under tools, there you go. Usage right, labeled for reuse, so that these are more highly likely that you can obviously use it, right? Pixabay is a free vector logo that you can actually grab, so you can actually see what logo you can obviously use. So this, I don't really like that logo. Let's see. Now, make sure you do your due diligence, right? This logo, you know that you can't use it because it's Felix the cat. So again, even with Google and putting in label for reuse, you still want to make sure that you are doing your due diligence as well. All right, so that's method number 1. Method number 2 is simply go to Fiverr. Pretty simple stuff. I can look for a logo and then go through logo. And then you can actually go through all the designers that are available to you. Some will charge a lot more expensive, so you need to actually go through it. There's like 128,000 services available. I'm not going to go through all of it, but you can actually go through Fiverr to take a look on exactly what logo you want to create and go from there. So there's actually logo design right in here to be more specific. So you can see right here. So some are pretty expensive. I'm not going to log in, but you get the drill. Next is to use royalty websites. So one that I like that is free, it's called freepik.com. You can go in here and put in like cat logo. And then you will have a whole bunch of them that are for free that you can actually start using and take a look. Now, anytime that there's a crown on top, that means that you need to obviously buy and pay for it. But once without it, you can obviously start using it. So there's a lot of logos for you to actually choose from. I like freepik.com. And if you can't find any, you can also use Getty Images or Fotolia.com as well. Now, last but not least is really 99design.com. Now, again, with 99design.com, it's really up to you. If you wanted to invest a lot more money into having your logo created. Again, up to you, and it costs a couple $100, but you will get all these premium designers to really fight for that couple $100, and you get so many variations for you to obviously choose. So again, it's really up to you on which route you want to take. Now that you got all these done, the next thing is creating your support email address. Now, why create your support email address? Well, it gives your customer a professional experience. You don't want to use gmail.com or hotmail.com or yahoo.com because that doesn't paint a professional picture to your customers. You want to use support at whateveryourdomain.com so that when your customer receives your email address, you can actually have your emails branded with your store name. It also gives you the ability to have virtual assistants in the future to take over this task. Your goal is to really scale your business. These support stuff, you should not be working on it in the future as you are growing your e-commerce business. Last but not least, obviously one of the most important things is to keep your business aside from your personal emails at the same time. Now, when it comes to email hosting service provider, I recommend Soho. They are the cheapest, but you don't have to use Soho at the same time. You can get email hosting providers by GoDaddy, or you can actually use G Suite, which is owned by Google, at the same time. But again, I find that Soho is the most cost effective. They're only $12 a year. So again, you're $12 a year and you have a email hosting server is actually pretty cheap. So with that being said, I'm going to actually run a quick demo to show you how to set this all up. I'm going to go over to my browser, and all we have to do is go Google Soho Mail or go to sohomail.com, and I'm going to log out first. So all you have to do is go to sohomail.com, and under business email, click on sign up now. And then under MailLite, that's all you really need. Click on sign up. And I'm going to use a different domain only because I already have this set up. So I'm going to use mamawares.com. I'm going to click on add. And I'm going to put in all my information. So I'm going to pause the screen right now to get all these information in place first. All right, I filled out all the information, and I forgot to actually show you right back. You can actually create support at domainname.com or team at domainname.com or customers at domainname.com. It's really up to you on which one your preference is. And once you actually put in all your information, Soho will send you a mobile text to make sure that you get a verification code to activate your account. Now, once this is all done, you can enable two-factor authentication if you want. It's really up to you, but I'm just going to click on Remind Me Later. Now, we're just going to wait for it to get it all loaded. Once it's all loaded, obviously, it's going to ask you for your credit card information. All you really need is just one user, okay? You don't need more than one. I'm going to confirm, and I'm simply just going to go into PayPal or credit card. So I'm going to fill in my credit card information, and I'll be right back. All right, so once you have put in the payment, all you got to do is simply go to Workplace, and it'll ask you to set up your domain. So it'll ask you select your domain DNS hosting provider. So in this case, we're going to use GoDaddy. And then once you've done so, you got to create a text record for the domain that we use for the DNS. So all we have to do is simply head over to GoDaddy right now, go into your domains, and then I'm going to just go into mamawares.com. And then I'm going to scroll down and click on Manage DNS. Once I click on Manage DNS, all we have to do is click on an add over here. So you got to add the record, okay? You got to add the record. And then we're going to change the type into TXT. And it'll ask for the host. So the host is a blank or at or mamaware. So we're going to use at. And then the TXT value, let's see. We're going to use this. Paste it right in here. TTL, I'm just going to use half an hour. Press save. All right. once you've done so, you're going to click on proceed to verify this. Try CNAME. All right, there you go. Next thing, oh, I did do TXT method. So verify. It's not letting me. It's waiting for DNS to happen. Oh, reduce. If it is edible, reduce it 300 seconds. All right, so I gotta change that into custom 300 seconds. So we changed the TTL. I didn't read the exact thing to 300 seconds. 300 seconds. Oh, it's not letting me do 300 seconds. So let's see, 500. Nope. 1,000. Okay, I'm gonna change it to 1,000. And now we already saved it. So we're just going to see if we can verify it. All right, great. The TXT records of the domain is verified. Verify now. And we're gonna click support. So we click create account. Proceed to add user. Well, we don't really need to add user because we already have that. Oops. Because we already paid. So back to setup. We just need one user. So let's click on skip. So configure email delivery. So now we actually have to set up the email delivery. So choose your domain provider. We're going to choose GoDaddy again. And then it will show you log into your DNS, my account, domains, expand on manage DNS, and which you verified. Okay. So what we have to do is add in the MX record. So you can actually follow all these if you want. It's actually pretty self-explanatory, but I know what I'm doing, so obviously for me it's pretty quick. But you can actually follow this tutorial along with a video to show you exactly how it is done. But I'm just gonna go here. I'm gonna go back to add. This time it's called the MX. And then let's see, at the MX record in the host field, put in an @ and point to this. Okay, let's see. Yes. All right. So I'm going to have @ point to this, and then let's see what the priority is. So priority set to 10. What about the TTL? Did you have to do anything with the TTL? Nope, they didn't say anything with the TTL. So I'm going to press save. Then, going back into here, click the @ record again, add another MX to 20 and 50. So we're going to add in 20 and 50 in here. So we're going to repeat the process. Click on add, MX, @ point to mx2.soho.com, and this time the priority is 20. Press save. And the other one is going to be repeated for mx3, priority 50. So we're going to add mx @ point to mx3.soho.com, priority 50. Press save. And then, all right. So we say mx lookup. Okay, so we gotta wait for it to do, but once DNS usually sometimes takes some time to complete, but once you actually complete these steps, click on next, and then you don't really have to worry about the SPF or DKIM. It's really up to you if you want to actually set these up or not. But at the end of the day, it's like a complete server thing that you need. So we can actually set it up if you want, but it's really up to you. Okay, there's a video tutorial to tell you how to do it. Here, click on skip. We don't have to, since that we're not migrating, so we don't have to worry about it. So skip. And then you can set this up for a mail client. And we're all done. All right. So that's really it. Okay, got it. So I'm going back to mail. So that's really it. That's all we got to do. Now, at the end of the day, one of the things is that there is chat. chats that can help you. So if there's any questions, you can actually message Soho at the same time. But that's all you really do. And once you actually have all these synchronized, you have all the foundation work in place.